Hey everybody, it's Mr. Herman back with another video. Today we're working on rotations of shapes in the plane. We are going to focus on, this is the lesson notes. Again, remember, you can see on top there. Remember, you have homework to do that's a separate page. These are not required to do, but I have them available for you to work on during the video if you want to follow along. This is one of the harder ones. I'll be honest with you, this is probably the toughest one of the four we're going to do this week. Because first of all, there are three different types. There are actually more than three types, but we're only going to focus on these three types. So let's first go over some of the basics of it. Let's zoom in here and let's go over this first part here. So it's going to be rotations, or when a figure is spun, I like to say spun, around a fixed point. All of our problems will work with spinning around the origin. And there are three ways we'll spin around the origin, our shape. The first way is going to be 90 degrees clockwise. Clockwise means it moves like a clock. So, and this is kind of, let me back up a little bit here. Clock hands turn like this way as time moves on. So that's the way the shape will move. It'll move in this direction like this, okay? 90-degree counterclockwise means it's going to go the other way, this way. Counterclockwise goes against the clock time. Kind of like time is turning backwards, in other words. The 180-degree one is simply 180 degrees. So if something is here, in terms of this pencil, if something is here, when you spin it around, it's going to end up over here, like this. 180 degrees is half a circle. Okay? If something's over here, it's going to end up over there when it spins half a circle. So you can kind of picture it. Doesn't matter which way it goes because it's the same either way. In other words, if the black part of the pencil starts here and it goes this way, it's over there. If it starts here and it goes this way, it's still going to be right there. See, so it doesn't matter which way. It doesn't matter if it's counterclockwise or clockwise. It's still the same math. Okay. So let's start. We're going to have. It looks like we have 5 examples. I hope we can get them all done. This is going to be a longer video probably because it does take a little while to get these all in. Let's start with this first one here. It says rotate the triangle 90 degrees clockwise. These are our pre-image right here, points. So our new points are going to go here. So I'll start by, like I've always been doing, trying to squeeze these in, A prime, B prime, and C prime. And then from there we're going to go to here. So 90 degrees clockwise, look over here, is this one. Look what we do. We take the pre-image points and we're switching them. You see how it's XY? We make it YX, but then we also take the opposite of the X. So this is, again, a little bit more challenging than we did before. It's different. So we switch them and make the original X, which is in the new Y position, the opposite. So let's go ahead and try and do that here. First, since the Y stays the same, but it's moved over, we're going to do that first. So I'm going to bring 3 over here, then 1, then 2. That's these right here, the Y's. Then the X, which is these, become negative over here as Y. So we're going to get -2, -3, -1. So let's go ahead and plot those and see how it looks. So make sure it stays the same shape because it will. It doesn't say that on here, which I wish it did. I must have missed that here. You still have congruent shapes for all of these. They're congruent, same angles, same sides. So 3, -2 would be right here. 1, -3. 1, -3 is here. And 2, -1. 2, -1 is right there. Let's kind of, there we go, good. Not the best lines, but not too bad. Notice it went clockwise. So this is your clock. Your hand is spinning this way. So it did go this way, which is what it's supposed to do. That's kind of good. 90 degrees means the next quadrant. So 180, it'd be way over here. 90 is here. If this is a counterclockwise, it would end up in this quadrant. All right, let's try another one. 90 degrees counterclockwise. I think we're going to skip this one because we're going to do this one down here, which is the same type of shape. So let's skip that one. Let's do the 180, and then we'll do another 180 again after. All right, let's see if I can get that in there. There we go. Nice and big. So 180 degrees. 180 degrees, if you remember. Let's go back to the little paper here. What are we doing here? We're not switching them. We're just making them both the opposite of what they are. So we're multiplying both by -1. So let's go over here, and again, the A prime, B prime, and C prime. So we're making them the opposites. So 2, 3 becomes -2, -3. 3, 1 becomes -3, -1. And 1, 2 becomes -1, -2. And again, it's going to end up, let's think about this first, remember? The opposite quadrant, so it's going to end up over here. Which makes sense because these are all negative. And this is the negative quadrant, quadrant 3. So let's try it. -2, -3 is right here. -3, -1. And then -1, -2. It's kind of hard to shape. Again, these are so small. But look at that. That is exactly the same shape, just flipped around, pointing the other way. Because it went basically either way, but you can go this way like this. So, like that. Kind of moved like that. Let's try another one. These are kind of fun. Let's get the whole thing in there. There we go. Okay. This one we're going to do the pre-image too. So I'll graph the pre-image first, and we're going to do a 90-degree counterclockwise. You definitely should hang on to this for the quiz. When you're allowed to use this for the quiz, I'm fine with that. You know, it's no problem. Just keep that in mind. You can use that information because I don't expect you to memorize all that. All right, let's try this next one. This one is 2, -3, so 2, -3. This is the pre-image I'm graphing. 2, 1. And then -2, -2. So it's like this. Much bigger than the other graphs. I really like these better because you're able to see them more. They're so small. You know, look how little that is. Okay, now we're going to go, it says counterclockwise around the origin 90 degrees. This is partly by the origin, so it's going to kind of just spin. It's going to be hard to say which quadrant it's going to be in because it's going to go counterclockwise, which is this way. It's this way against the cock hand, right? So it's probably going to end up kind of around here somewhere. So let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do. For counterclockwise, let's go A prime, B prime, and C prime. As a reminder, counterclockwise means you do this. You switch the coordinates and make the old y or the new x, whatever you're going to call it, make it negative. So the x stays the same. So let's move the x into the y position first. So x goes into the y position. So 2, 2, -2 goes here. 2, 2, -2. Now we're going to take the y and move it here and make it the opposite of what it was. Multiply it by -1, in other words. So -3 times -1 becomes 3. 1 times -1 is -1. -2 times -1 is 2. Now let's graph it and see how it looks. So 3, 2. 3, 2 is right here. -1, 2. -1, 2. And 2, -2. 2, -2. Kind of get that in there. Try and draw it here. And you can see that it's kind of like I said, kind of stuck in there. It's kind of hard to tell where it started and ended, but that's how it works, that one there. Let's do this last one more. This is a 180-degree one. So a reminder for the 180 degrees, we're going to be leaving them where they are, but multiplying them both by -1. So let's get the original one in there first. So it's 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, 4, 2, and then 1, 3, 1, 3. Tiny little triangle here. There we go. Now we're going to rotate 180 degrees. 180 degrees, remember, is going to put it in, if it's in a specific quadrant, which it is like this one we had a hard time predicting that with, but with this one, if it's here, it's going to end up over here. If it's here, it's going to be here. So they go kind of diagonal when they go 180 degrees. It's also going to be pointing the opposite way. So it's going to look like this. It's going to face the other way, but it's going to be right in here. So let's go ahead and do that. We got to multiply both x and y by -1. So E prime, F prime, and G prime. And let's do -4, -4. That's in the third quadrant. That's good. -4, -2 times -1 for each of these. Times -1 makes it -1, -3. So now we've got -4, -4. So let's go with that first. -4, -4. Let's have a big point there. Weesh. -4, -2 puts us right here. And then -1, -3 right here. So we got right there is our triangle. So happy rotating for you. Contact me if you've got questions or concerns. If you're not sure how to do something, otherwise have fun with this. And then remember, our quiz on Friday is going to include a study guide that you have to do first and turn in. So please remember that as we work through that. And Friday, I might even have a video explain that just to remind you about that, okay? So check out me if you got questions or concerns. Have a great day. Bye-bye.